Welcome to Level Up, where you get the score on video games. When you think about Nintendo franchises, what comes to mind? Mario, Zelda, Kirby, a bunch of the big names you might see in Super Smash Bros. Well, a quick visit to the Wikipedia page for it and you'll see a few more titles that just seem a little different. One in particular caught my eye, the Puzzle League franchise. I happen to own one of those games, so I thought I'd not only take a look at the game, but a bit about the franchise itself. So let's look at the Puzzle League series, as well as Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color. This is a puzzle series, but not like Dr. Mario or Yoshi. This one is more along the lines of Bejeweled. You have to connect 3 blocks of the same color to make them disappear by switching 2 blocks at a time. That being said, there are many differences. First off, the blocks don't come back and you have no time limit in most modes. Instead, the blocks keep going up, and when they reach the top, you lose. This also means that the entire screen isn't full of blocks. Another thing that separates this from most versions of Bejeweled I've played is that you don't have to switch 2 blocks. If you want to move a block to an empty space, go right ahead. What makes this more even though is that you can only move blocks horizontally and not vertically. This requires some time having to be creative. Beyond the marathon mode of playing until you hit the top, most versions of Puzzle League also came with a challenge mode. Here you'd have to eliminate all the blocks in a set number of moves. You can say that one trains you for the other or vice versa, but either way they complement themselves rather well. We also can't forget the 2-player mode, which is like Marathon, but whenever someone makes a large connection or combos, they send blocks over to the opponent's side. This mode is both fun and a little frustrating. Now, the reason you may or may not have heard of this game series before is because of its naming. In Japan, it was called Panel de Pon. Sorry if I mispronounce anything, by the way. And when it came to North America's Super Nintendo, it was called Tetris Attack. Though it carried the name Tetris, probably to get more people to play it, it was obviously very different, maybe hurting it a little. After its eventual port to the Game Boy, we reached the generation I'm talking about now, the Pokemon Puzzle League. I find it odd that we jumped from a Tetris branding to a Pokemon plugin. Eventually, most versions of this game would simply be called Puzzle League, even if it's modeled directly after the game known as Tetris Attacks. This is just to let you know. Tetris Attacks, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge, Puzzle League, or Panel de Pon, it's pretty much all the same game. Now, Pokemon Puzzle Challenge works pretty much the same way as the gameplay I described to you. There's a puzzle mode and a few marathon modes, but there is one mode I really like. The challenge mode. In here, you'll go from gym to gym from the gold and silver games and fight their leaders and one Pokemon they own. This works similar to the 2-player style I described earlier, but different. This time you don't have someone playing against you, you just see an enemy health bar. All you have to do is keep making specials and it'll go down. This encourages the player to think more strategically, unlike before where you could just aim to survive and hope the enemy sucks enough he just loses. But still, you'll somehow be getting blocks dropped on you. The Pokemon add nothing to this game. Sure, you pick Pokemons as avatars while you play, and there are unlockable ones that you can challenge yourself to get, and if you lose, you can't play as that Pokemon again for a while. But really, the title was just a tie-in, encouraging Pokemon fans to buy this puzzle game. And I guess it worked, considering I bought the game because it had the name Pokemon on it. But whether it had the name Pokemon on it or not, Puzzle League is a great series. And anyone who likes these types of puzzle games, I'm looking at you casual gamers, should check it out. As for this particular version, well, the gameplay was kept intact and with extra neat modes added. Everything looks really good, but the music jumps from too slow to too fast sometimes. But there is one thing I really like about this. It's portable. I know it's weird to say that the best thing I like about it is the system it's on, but these kinds of games were made for travel. Yes, I did play the Nintendo 64's Pokemon Puzzle League, and I still think this is better just because it's nomadic. I give Pokemon Puzzle Challenge for the Game Boy Color 7.5 levels out of 10. I'm Leo Melanson, and now you know the score.